Insane! How El Chapo escaped for the first time. Mexico's chef criminal mastermind jumped into a cart full of dirty laundry. That's right, and why exactly did he do it? Jump right on as we unveil why the notorious Mexican kingpin had made this mad decision. El Chapo, the Mexican drug lord, determined he was unwilling to spend any more time in prison in the early months of 2001. He had been imprisoned at Puente Grande, a maximum security facility outside of Guadalajara, since 1995. He was there due to his involvement in the violent gunfight that took place in the airport there in 1993. The fact that El Chapo's wants were satisfied in full was largely made possible by the support of Damaso Lopez Nuez, who had succeeded him as the deputy head of security in 1999 and had shown himself to be a lot more accommodating than his predecessor. El Chapo started showering Damaso with presents and cash as soon as he arrived, giving him $10,000 in cash here and a home there. When one of Damaso's children was wounded in an accident, El Chapo even covered the child's full medical costs. However, to El Chapo's dismay, Damaso had fled to Puente Grande in the autumn of 2000, leaving a shadow of suspicion over the government's sluggish efforts to probe corruption there. And on January 18, 2001, El Chapo's life drastically changed when the Mexican Supreme Court decided that the United States may extradite Mexican convicts like El Chapo for as long as the death penalty was eliminated. A jail cell in the United States, the object of his darkest nightmare, had come true. And the next day, he had made his escape by hiding in a laundry cart and sneaking out the door with the help of El Chito, a security officer. Nothing was carried out to stop him either. Guzman's electrically powered cell door was unlocked by prison officer Francisco El Chito Camberos Rivera, enabling him to begin his very simple escape. Guzman hopped aboard a laundry cart that Javier Camberos, the prison maintenance worker, had driven all the way outside the prison. Camberos drove the cart into a gas station, where he walked into the store but returned to discover that Guzman had disappeared. El Chapo's skill to purchase the right people made it possible for him to escape, whether he wheeled out or walked out wearing a guard uniform that had been stolen. While up to 78 people, including the facility's director, may have been involved, an inquiry was revealed that Camberos was only sentenced for this involvement in the scheme, except for one guard who is said to have been executed 7 years later for reporting the escape. Nearly the entire jail staff had been under El Chapo's control. The jail guards reportedly worked for Guzman, gave him special treatment, and helped him transport drugs for him behind bars. Guzman bought off Jalisco, a state police, to give him a 24-hour head start over his captors in order to make sure that his grand scheme went off without a hitch. According to reports, the drug lord spent over $2 million upon bribes to get released. The laundry cart idea was often reported by several earlier allies of El Chapo when he was ultimately put on trial years later before a US federal court in Brooklyn. Less than 18 months after his 2014 rearrest, Guzman made his yet another escape as he was caught in a Mexican beach resort. After a scandalous 3-month trial that revealed his criminal empire, Guzman was convinced of worldwide drug smuggling and was given a life sentence in addition to 30 years. Guzman claimed that after his new sentence in New York, that the way he was treated in solitary confinement amounted to torture and that he had been a victim of an unjust trial. Anabel Hernandez, a journalist, contends that the laundry cart narrative was a fabrication made after the escape to conceal the truth, which was that El Chapo had merely stepped out the door. Hernandez was not alone in her view that the laundry cart narrative was a make-believe scenario which was concocted to make a more real getaway that made achievable because of the systematic corruption. Do you agree with Annabelle's opinion that the unusual laundry cart escape was a fabrication intended to conceal corruption? Drop your thoughts down below.